In May of 2022, I lost more money in 72 hours than some people make in an entire year. Terra Luna. If you know, you know. If you don't, I'll tell you exactly what happened, but more importantly, what I did after to recover, as well as position myself properly to not make the same mistake. I'm not telling you this for sympathy. I'm telling you this because the mistake that I made is the same exact mistake that I see a lot of crypto investors making right now, and it can lead to huge losses. And the system that I built around that loss to prevent those in the future is the same system that I still use today in my portfolio. But before I get into it, if you're watching this because you've had your own version of this experience, I'm hosting a free workshop called the Crypto Activation Workshop on Wednesday. And I'm going to teach you exactly how you can approach DeFi as well as crypto from a structured and systematic approach. The link's going to be at the top of the description to RSVP if you have 30 seconds to put your name on the list. Let's start by taking a look at Luna. Luna used to be an asset that had a market cap of $40 billion. And the entire basis was Luna was supposed to be somewhat like Solana as well as Ethereum, where DeFi could operate. And, for a period of time, it was. There was lots of good opportunities there. And I blindly invested into this just assuming that it would be okay. Everything would be fine because it's another chain. It has a $40 billion market cap. What could possibly go wrong? Now, I didn't hold much Luna in my wallet at all. I held enough for gas fees and stuff like that. Maybe I held $1,000 or so. What I was really big into was not Luna, but Luna ecosystem, some of the projects over there. So there was something called Anchor Protocol. An Anchor Protocol allowed you to park your UST, which is essentially Terra Luna's own version of a USD stablecoin. You could park your UST in there and earn about 20% per year. Now, once again, Anchor Protocol was not some random project. It had a $17 billion market cap at the time of collapse. So again, me parking my money in here, getting 20%, to me, at the time, it's like, oh, great. There's $17 billion invested into this. This cannot collapse. With UST, the market cap of it was roughly $18.6 billion. But what they were essentially doing was running a subsidized yield scheme, which means that it was not sustainable. It paid 20% per year by combining two separate revenue sources. Number one was staking yields from collateral assets, stuff like B Luna or B ETH. These earned 6 to 8%. And then also borrowing interest from people that were taking loans against that collateral, which was about 8 to 12%. And of course, the gap between that, whenever it would earn a little bit less than 20%, was filled by Terraform Labs topping up the yield reserve, which was like a slush fund that burned down over time. The thing is, borrowing demand dropped and the reserve got depleted, and then of course the entire thing collapsed. And that's where you'll see a USD stablecoin go all the way from $1 down to about less than a penny over the course of just a couple months. But the damage was done within 72 hours. I mean, 72 hours, this thing had already dropped to sub 20 cents. And you couldn't trade because there wasn't any liquidity. You couldn't migrate to other platforms because they wouldn't accept UST. You were basically fucked. So here I am at 18 years old. I had just graduated high school, and I lost $30,000 on this crypto coin. That's half of what my teachers were getting paid in high school. I look so stupid. You could see the screenshot right over here that actually locked in my loss. And if you guys want to view this entire story and my entire journey, it's actually on the registration page for the free workshop I'm hosting this week. First things first, I had to transfer out of Anchor Protocol. So having a $29,000 cost basis over here, going straight to about $7,500 worth in UST. That right there was a 21.4K loss. And then from there, I had to transfer that UST into USDT, in which my 7.5K ended up turning into $700 by the time I could actually sell USDT, locking in another $7,000 loss. But it gets worse because Terraform Labs decided to hard fork the entire Luna chain, and they turned that into the new Terra chain, Terra 2.0, and the original one was rebranded into Terra Classic or Lunk C. Now, the thing is, obviously this was not going to hold up, but at the time of launch, there was hope. And then when they did launch, they airdropped about $8,000 into my wallet. So that's $8,000 that I had to pay taxes on, right? Because it's an airdrop, and in the United States, you have to pay income tax on airdrops. And I was at a pretty high tax bracket, so boom, there goes 35% of that 8 grand. The thing is, that 8 grand is vested in a way where you receive it up front. You just can't sell it. So that means I had to pay taxes on the entire 8 grand, despite by the time I could sell all of it, it being depleted to $1,000 worth of proceeds, which is another $3,000 in losses right there. So hindsight is I should not have even interacted with the airdrop whatsoever to receive it. But also, speaking back to this collapse, UST was not an actual stablecoin. It was an algorithmic stablecoin. In other words, they had an arbitrage mechanism between Luna as well as UST. The problem is Luna is not actually backed by anything. So that means that the entire UST price and the peg depended on if people actually wanted to buy Luna or sell Luna. So basically, if UST was below $1, you could burn $1 of UST, meaning you're taking it out of circulation, therefore inflating the value, and you would mint $1 of Luna. So imagine buying UST for 98 cents, but then being able to redeem it for $1 of Luna. Well, that's exactly what you can do. And in turn, that arbitrage mechanism pushes the price back up to $1. And then if it was above $1, you can burn $1 of Luna to mint $1 of UST. In other words, if UST was trading at, say, $1.02, you could take $1 of Luna and redeem it for 1 UST, which would get you $1.02. And then, of course, you could sell that for 2 cents profit. So again, it's arbitrage right here. But the peg relied entirely on Luna having persistent market value to be able to absorb this arbitrage. And then eventually confidence broke out. Nobody wanted to invest into Luna anymore, and it caused that death spiral. More UST was redeemed, more Luna was minted, Luna price crashed, less confidence in UST, repeat, and then of course there's no hard collateral that existed, so that ultimately led to the collapse of this in under 72 hours. Now, getting to the point of my lessons and what I actually learned, the system that I use to avoid opportunities like this in the future is don't rely on market cap. Right? The market cap of Luna at the time was $40 billion. UST was $18 billion. Anchor Protocol had $17 billion in TVL. So that told me it was safe. But if there's one thing I've learned time and time again in my early days, it's that high market cap does not mean safe. Even these days, I'm not a huge guy on Solana because Solana might have a $50 billion market cap, but it's hyperinflationary. I mean, right now Solana sits at $87 with a $50 billion market cap. Well, guess what? When it had a $50 billion market cap all the way back, let's just say September 10th of 2021, guess what the price was back then? The price on September 10th, 2021 was $190. That means it was over 2x what it currently is, despite having the same market cap right now. The result is inflation. So when I analyze assets these days to determine what I actually want to invest into, I'm not analyzing from the lens of what market cap do they have? How many people are talking about them? Is this something I want to invest into based off of vibes? I'm looking at it through the lens of something that I call the VRM Framework. Now, again, we have a whole checklist over at my consulting firm that we go through with our clients and a lot of proprietary stuff. But the overall goal is this. Number one, where does it get its value from? Is there any hard collateral? Is it in demand? Why would people want to buy it? Is there revenue sharing? What do the tokenomics look like? Stuff like that, basically. What value is returned to token holders? Then there's risk. What's the actual risk of investing into this? Is there risk of collapse? If it does collapse, how far can it go? Right? And then in addition to that, what is the market cap compared to other assets in the category? What is the team risk? In other words, is the team actually good at what they do? Are they shipping things, or are they just kind of like dead silent? And then also, what's the market positioning? How does it compare to competitors in what it does, but also in terms of market cap, as well as in terms of just placement within a specific category and stuff like that. And then more importantly, what market are we in? Are we in a market where this can do well, or are we in a market where this can do bad? Is this something that could be completely wiped out through a bear market, or is it something that will build throughout the bear market and come back stronger in the bull market? When I analyze DeFi projects, I'm no longer looking at how much money they have invested into them, because again, we've seen time and time again, multi-billion, multi-$10 billion protocols get hacked, get exploited. In this case, it was not a hack or an exploit. Anchor Protocol might have had actually a reasonable mechanism since it was a money market, but at the same exact time, it collapsed because UST collapsed. I'm analyzing protocols through a very, very similar lens to the way that I analyze assets, right? I want to make sure that these protocols are actually operating like businesses, because everything is a business at the end of the day. And if somebody says, oh, I don't want to make money off of this, or my goal isn't to fill my pockets or something like that, They're wrong, because everything needs to make money to sustain. They might not want to make money, but the people that are building this, the developers, everybody needs to get paid, because people don't work for free. So you truly have to analyze these from a business and say, I am about to do business with this protocol. I'm about to shake hands with them and give them my money. You want to vet them to make sure that they actually deserve your money. So when you analyze it through that lens, as opposed to, oh, where's the best yield? Oh, what has the most money? You'll get far different results. With that being said, if you had your own version of Terra Luna, or maybe you're sitting on crypto right now that really has no system or structure behind it, this is the point where I'm going to invite you to attend my crypto activation workshop later in the week, where we're going to discuss exactly how you can put a systematic yield structure behind your portfolio and profit during these bear markets. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, drop a like, subscribe, notifications turned on, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.